Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tall Tales Custom Tackles. I'm going to go over a new mold that came in today, kind of like a quick review of a crawl mold that came from Fat Guys Fishing. It's a decent mold for the money. It's a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be for sure, but it makes a great looking bait. Be a good bait for punching. I mean, you could use it for a trailer if you wanted to. You could Texas rig it, just have to use a lot smaller hook. But it's a decent little bait. Like I say, it's a lot smaller than what I originally thought it was going to be. I got some made up. It's a lot smaller bait than what I originally thought. I mean, like you can see right there, the body is only like 1 3/4 inches, but the total bait measures 3 and a little over 1/4. So I mean, it shoots pretty good. It took a couple of times to get it figured out. Well, show you these. The first couple of runs, I didn't I had to play with the pressure and how much heat to give to it. But once I figured out how fast to shoot it and all that, I mean, it shoots perfect every time now. But so these are, failures on my point or my part, but them little legs, they really don't matter that much, so I can still use them for myself. Anyway, like I say, the mold is pretty decent. I mean, it's not a real expensive mold like some of the other companies, but I don't really care for these. That's why I'll use it. I'll use it in my little vise here. Lock it down. Then I ain't got to worry about it. Slide the pan out. That way any kind of drippage will go straight in the pan. But anyway, for the most part, I'm satisfied with it. Good investment. There's some advice I'll give you. Like I say, this is going to be a page giving you advice as far as failures and success. Biggest advice I can give you: don't start out cheap. Unless you just really plan on doing 1 or 2 baits here and there, I definitely wouldn't go cheap. Like, for example, with the injectors, like this is a cheap $49 Do It mold injector, and it's just so thin it don't shoot great at all. And I advise to get one with a locking cap. This one, you put pressure on it and the end just comes right off, versus a decent one. Now, a good one you're gonna have to pay for. They don't give them away, but they have a locking pin. It locks in. The walls are so thick on them that it's able to hold heat a lot easier. You don't have the material getting cool and actually hardening up on you real quick. So if you got 4 molds set side by side, you're still able to shoot, versus the cheap one, you lucky to get 1 mold shot with it before it's already hardening up. Same goes with your molds. Do It molds are decent. I mean, I've got a couple of those. They actually shoot pretty good for the money, and they're fairly cheap. I have 1 mold that I ordered from Ukraine from baitmolds.com. It looks good. It shoots horrible. I've had to modify it, open up the air chambers, and make a sprue extender for it, because the way it's designed, you have trouble every single one. I mean, out of 12 baits, I might have 2 that would shoot good, but now I got it where almost all of them are. I mean, I'll get 10 out of 12 that's in great looking condition now, versus before it was horrible. I actually contacted the company after I shot, 25 or 30 baits out of it and kept on having problems. I emailed them, asked them, what to do about it. I mean, I didn't want to just have to modify it because it's a brand new mold. I think I paid $104 for that one, for just a little 2 cavity. Their response was, that's a very difficult mold. You may have to modify it. So I definitely will not buy any more molds from that company. Angling AI, they have great molds. I've got a couple of their molds. I got a Bloodline swim bait. I've got the Menace Crawl. I've actually just ordered 2 more of the Menace Crawl molds, the core shot, because they shoot great, they look good, and I mean, it's just a awesome little bait. Bass Tackle, matter of fact, same company makes the top quality injectors. They have a great looking mold. I've got 2 of their molds so far. I got 1 more coming. I ordered a 7-inch, well, 7 3/4 lizard mold that I'm excited about. It should be in any day, and I just placed an order for another 7-inch ribbon tail, so that'd be great. The ribbon tail worm is a good looking bait. With that being said, Bass Tackle, they also have the dual injector with the blending block, and what that shoots, 5.1. For example, that shoots, your dual color. We'll get it to focus. That shoots your dual color baits. You can have any color on one side and laminate it with another. They also have a C, well, Angling AI carries the C block, but you can buy a C block for it. And instead of laminate, you basically just gets kind of like a little ripple swirl effect. It just mixes up the colors all the way down it, so you don't have a consistent pattern. The core shot, like the Menace Crawl core shot mold, what it does, you can, come on, focus. You can get the outer layer one color, and then the core of it will actually be a completely different color. Anyway, I know I keep on rambling, but as far as that goes, my greatest advice will be just to, I know it's expensive to begin with. I saw a video posted by World's Worst Fishing. It's a great YouTube channel. I mean, I've learned a lot from watching that channel, but I saw him do a post about, you can start start it for $500, and that's initially where I was going to try to start out at, $500. But then once you pour a couple of baits, and if you really thinking about trying to actually sell a couple of baits, not big time like a lot of these other guys, but just make a few to sell, and even a few to make for yourself, it's hard to stick to that $500 budget, because that plastisol don't go far. I mean, you can buy a gallon for $30. I've done, just in the last few weeks, went through almost 5 gallons. So far, I've got another 5 gallons coming. So it gets very, very expensive real quick. I mean, the last maybe month and a half, I've probably got $2,000. I know it sounds crazy and don't look like it, but I've probably got $2,000 invested just right here in this stuff. So it can be a very expensive hobby, but it's also satisfying. I mean, it really is. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and show a couple more things before I close this video out. Another thing I was gonna talk about, lure work. So that's the plastisol I started out with. It works. Don't get me wrong, it works. It's got a little bit more bubble than, say, your dead on plastics. You know, it has a lot more bubbling, but it will yellow a lot faster, say overheating. If you're gonna do clear shots and you got anything where you need real clear outer layer, lure works just is not my favorite by far. I will not buy any more plastisol from Lure Works for that reason. I mean, it yellows a little bit easier versus dead on plastics is very, very easy to work with. I mean, stir it up, put it in the vacuum chamber, suck all the bubbles out, and you're good to go. I mean, it's warm it up over and over and over. I mean, don't have a bit of trouble out of it. And by the way, my chamber, I went very cheap with it. I actually built the chamber myself because I didn't want to spend, you know, a couple $100 on a vacuum chamber. So I made one that works really good. So there's a lot of ways to go budget friendly with it. The last couple of days I have shot some baits. I had a couple of orders I had to make. These are actually the extras. If I make an order, I usually go ahead and pour extra just in case. Just in case they want to reorder, or if somebody else wants to buy. Like this right here, this is 100 baits. These are the order I had. That's green pumpkin with red flake, and this is a pearl white and silver, like pretty much bait fish shad color is what they were looking for, and it turned out really, really good. Come on, focus. It's like pearl white on one side and clear. It turned out really good. I was happy with it. So like I say, I always shoot extras. Also, that's 44 of a core shot bait that's is clear with purple flake and a mica blue core shot. So anyway, that's all going to one individual. I'll mail that out in the morning. But anyway, I didn't make a video of actually pouring baits because I'm still trying to figure it out. Matter of fact, if anybody's got any advice on a good app for editing videos before you put them on YouTube, that would be great. Because I mean, I don't want to have the camera set up and be, you know, pouring baits for 45 minutes and I don't know how to shorten them up or make it run fast. You know, they got ways to, I'm still trying to read up on it. I'll figure it out in the next couple of days.